Wednesday just showing no signs of letting up. In isolation, it's not great for Plymouth, but there is so much credit still in the bank. And my God, did Ipswich need that. It's a rare slip from the high standards set by Bolton. Derby right back at it. Barnsley, wow, so clinical, so impressive. No huge plot twists yesterday in the League One promotion race, but still plenty for us to talk about in our seemingly now traditional Sunday third tier catch-up. Wins for Sheffield Wednesday, Ipswich, Derby and Barnsley. Plenty of goals flying in those games too. Plymouth held to a 0-0 at home. Only Bolton falling to defeat this week on a difficult away trip to Wycombe. Sheffield Wednesday are back on top. Not really too much to say about Wednesday that we haven't really been saying on repeat now for the past few months. Good news, other than the win, for them to get all of Hunt, Iorfa and James in at the back. At the top end, Windass and Smith are now on to 31 goal contributions between them. So, to have Lee Gregory coming off the bench and scoring too is really starting to give the impression of the squad strength building up now as the season reaches the business end. So the Owls are back on top. I can see games against Bolton and Barnsley coming up back to back. After that, the run looks calmer. I'll give my question to you for the comments in kind of reverse. If you don't see Sheffield Wednesday as title favourites now, let me know why below. Plymouth were held at home by stubborn old Fleetwood, who are solid on away trips. But my overriding feeling here is just credit in the bank. Credit in the bank after a brilliant week. Credit in the bank due to the amazing home record. Credit in the bank that sustains even a 2-point drop over the weekend, an 8-point lead over third place. The stats look fine, other than 0 in the goals for column. But the other 0, the number of defeats since Michael Cooper went out injured, is probably more pertinent for me. If you watch the channel regularly, you'll know I've long since had March the 11th circled as a key date for Plymouth. It's Posh, Derby and Barnsley as 3 of the next 4. I think if it's 5 to 7 points from those 4 games, credit in the bank again makes it a really manageable last 10. Ipswich are back third, and it was definitely the right time for the Tractor Boys to play bottom club Forest Green at home, with Ipswich fans not coping too well with the poor run and fading away from the top 2 this past week. It looked a little bit more direct, a little bit higher intensity from Ipswich yesterday, which I think is responding to some probably reasonable criticism. Okay, Forest Green are absolutely terrible at the moment, but for Kieran McKenna now, it's surely just a case, rebuild momentum, shore up that playoff spot, and if any kind of unlikely collapse happens up ahead, be there to capitalise. Bolton were our only losers up in the top 6. They were our hot hand, weren't they, going into the weekend with a 5-game win streak, back-to-back 5-0 wins as well. I wouldn't be too worried, big picture, if I were a Bolton fan. Look, it's Wycombe away. Many have fallen in that most unique of circumstances, and that is not going to change. Like Plymouth, actually, Bolton have the chance to get to Wembley in midweek in the Pizza Cup, and both sides can't let that distract them too much from the promotion charge in hand. Derby right back on the horse after a bit of a wobbly week leading up to facing Charlton. How good is Aaron Cashin, by the way, the young centre-half? He scored along with Dave McGoldrick. This week has probably calmed the automatic talk from Rams fans. Don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Fascinating game next week. They go away to Barnsley. And speaking of Barnsley, I think they've probably got to be our top 6 team of the week. The only one of the top 6 indeed to score a full house of 9 points across this 3-game Valentine's week. And their finishing yesterday at Cheltenham was absolutely on point. Ruthless stuff. A couple of worldies from Kane and Phillips. A couple of nice team goals as well from Norwood and Williams on Mike Duff's return to his old club. The Tykes are in absolutely great form, and if you look at the table, if they were to knock out 2 points per game in their games in hand, if it is to be the playoffs, they're looking more like a 3rd or 4th place team than than a 5th or 6th place team as we speak right now. Now, Barnsley are going to have to continue this excellent form because their fixtures are by far the toughest on paper. Derby, Plymouth, Wycombe, Sheffield Wednesday and Ipswich are 5 of Barnsley's next 7 opponents. That is going to tell us a hell of a lot more about their credentials. Look, we're focused on the top 6 here, but Wycombe fans will moan if I don't mention them in 7th. 5 straight victories for the Chairboys, 3 points off 6. 3 of the 4 sides currently in the playoff spots have been to Adams Park since December and all lost. So, in summary this week, no big twists, none of these big head-to-head games either that we've had recently. Solid 7-point hauls for the top 2, looking good. Ipswich and Derby bounce back in the short term. Bolton, little slip. Barnsley and Wycombe come in very fast in 6th and 7th. I'll be on championship duty tomorrow in flesh and in person, heading down to Vicarage Road for Watford versus West Brom in the evening. The plot thickened a little more up ahead of those 2 in the championship yesterday. Click up here to see my take on Michael Carrick's Middlesbrough, who are really starting to make some noise trying to chase down Sheffield United in 2nd place.